I live in an apartment complex. It's based on your income, but we have people, that pay full price also, so it's not just people with low income things. And we have 2 little playgrounds that you can take your kids to. One is a little larger than the other one. And in your building you have 8 people, 4 on the bottom floor and 4 on the upper floor. And you get a good mix of people. Like in my particular building, all the homes are 2-bedroom homes. But then the building next to me is all 1-bedroom homes. And they try to group you together by, most of us in my building, for example, have children. We have a community activity director, and she organizes different events for the apartment complex. Especially during the summer, she focuses on the kids, but like for the adults, they'll have Bible study, cards. The adults will get together while the kids are in school and play cards. Craft events. We've done yoga. And on Thanksgiving or the day before, we did a community potluck Thanksgiving. So we just try to get everybody together. And then the kids do crafts, or we put little quirky things on the community calendar, like root beer float day or whatever, and we try to celebrate that with the kids. When I first moved in, the playground that was right across from my apartment building, my son was probably 2 at the time, so not quite when I first moved in, pretty close. There was no ramp to that playground. I couldn't take him. So if I wanted to take him to a playground, I had to go all the way to the other side of the complex. It's not that far, but it's not that close either, and not ideal weather, because kids don't pick when they want to go, You don't necessarily pick when your child wants to go, I should say. They're just like, hey, Mom, can we go? And so I would have to go all the way over there, and we'd only stay 10 or 15 minutes, based on the weather. But so I waited for I fought with the community for a couple years to get a ramp put in so that I could take him to one closer to my house, which they have now put in. And we're still working to get a few more ramps put in. They have a few, but still it would be more convenient to have more. And more lighting access, around dumpster areas and places where, people could be that you couldn't see. You have to be careful of the type of ground that you use, not your wheelchair doesn't necessarily grip sand or rock and everything. So if you're going to build a playground, for example, to be able to congregate there, or a park, you need to build it with maybe recycled tire, rubber ground, or something that a wheelchair would grip a lot easier. And make sure, if it's going to be gated, it's where everybody can reach it, open it, close it, things of that nature. I think in an ideal neighborhood, you would see a lot of families, a lot of diversity, maybe not families, but older people, young families just starting out, a couple, families with children, things of that nature. You would see them out and about, not stuck in their homes. And you would see places for them to interact, a park, just on the sidewalk, kids playing, things of that nature.